welcome back to Tahoe Today. We have one of my favorite people here, Jeff Cowan, Public Information Officer for the Tahoe Regional Planning Agency, PIO for the TRPA. See how I worked out right there? Jeff, what's going on?
Well, not much. You know, we have been really recognizing the recent reauthorization of the Lake Tahoe Restoration Act in Congress, which was really big news for Tahoe's restoration projects. But we just got news this morning, a couple minutes ago, that the president has just signed it, so
Nice.
It's now officially law. So we're kind of like one step closer to seeing additional federal funding come into the basin for a lot of different restoration projects.
All right, so that's what I was going to say. Let's just break that down very
Sure.
quickly for those people that don't know what the Lake Tahoe Restoration Act is. Give us a brevity.
Yeah, so 1997, TRPA and others came together to form the Environmental Improvement Program.
Right.
And then the federal funding for that has been coming from an appropriations bill called Lake Tahoe Restoration Act.
Right.
So that expired in like 2012. It was reauthorized in 2016.
Right.
And it's only for 10 years. So it was expiring again September 30th.
Right.
And the Senate and the House approved the reauthorization for another 10 years. Now, it's not new money, but what it does is it takes the $440 million that was authorized in 2016,
right,
and it gives another 10 years to appropriate the remaining $300 million. So since 2016, about $112 million in federal funding
right,
has come into the basin. And what that's done is that has helped leverage local, state, and private property investments in restoration. So when we say restoration, what we're talking about is forest fuel reduction projects, because the forest is unhealthy.
Right.
It used to be safer and healthier, so we're restoring the forest to
right,
past conditions and making communities safer. And then also there's emerging threats of aquatic invasive species.
Right.
So what the other thing that the Lake Tahoe Restoration Act does is it helps fund the watercraft inspection program and and aquatic invasive species control projects.
right,
Like the weed removal project that just wrapped up at Taylor-Talat Creek's marsh.
right.
So lots of other funding that comes into the basin from that. But again, it just, this reauthorization's pretty important because about 80% of the land in the basin is actually managed by the Forest Service,
right,
national forest land. So the federal government has a pretty big role to play in helping fund restoration projects. But we know that a lot of this happens at the state, local, and private level as well. It's where a lot of our, water quality improvement projects.
Right.
So stream and meadow restoration, marsh restoration,
right,
acquisition programs that actually purchase private property on sensitive lands and turn that back into open space.
Great.
Which is the 31 acres at the Motel 6 project property in South Shore.
I was just about to ask you about that. Where are they with that right now?
Well,
I see all the fencing up and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's done, but now they are going into planning of what is actually going to happen at that site. They know that they are going to restore it to natural conditions.
Right.
But what other things maybe can be done with recreation?
Right.
Those are all questions that the Conservancy is going to ask. But they missed the grading season.
I was going to say, do you have a bulldoze date for us there?
Yeah.
Because I will do a little dance when I see that place hit the ground.
Sure. I don't know. No, whether they're going to get it done before October 15th, which is the end of the grading season, is very unlikely because they have to do asbestos remediation.
Right.
But so it's probably going to happen next year, where we'll see the buildings come down.
I could sit here and talk to you all day long. We only have a little bit of time left. Tell us what's most important. What's on your mind right now? Tell people before we get out of here.
I think that the Aquatic Invasive Species Program is really critical right now,
right,
because the discovery of New Zealand mud snails in the lake
right,
last year, and the way people can help prevent their spread to other lakes and to other parts of the lake
right,
is by clean, drain, and dry,
nice,
especially paddle boards, kayaks, and fishing equipment, things like that.
That's perfect. Appreciate it. Jeff Cowan, from Public Information Officer from the TRPA out here at Rockin' House. Thank you for all the good things that you do. And I'm always stoked to see you here. We will catch you next time.
All right, perfect.